right, friends, welcome to the optional video about how hormonal birth control works and what happens if you skip the placebo week of the pill. So there are lots of methods of birth control. One of the most common that people use is the hormonal birth control pill. And what it is it's usually a low dose of hormones that essentially trick your body into thinking that your body is pregnant. And so hormonal birth control, the pill, stops your body from ovulating, and it also thickens your cervical mucus. But the reason why it works as a birth control or birth prevention measure is that the body stops ovulating and there's no egg there to become fertilized. So during this process, you've essentially created like you're like overriding your natural hormones. So you remember the chart that we saw yesterday that had the different peaks and valleys of progesterone and estrogen and follicle stimulating hormone. That with hormonal birth control is different because you are taking a pill every day that is usually a estrogen or estradiol and progesterone combo. Some hormonal birth controls are progesterone only. So it just depends on what pill you're on. So the question, well, let's talk more about like what a period is when you're on birth control. So during that week of sugar pills, so sometimes with a hormonal birth control, you have 4 weeks of pills, and the 4th week is a different color because it is a placebo pill or a sugar pill. So there's no hormones in that pill. And sometimes the hormonal birth control is 3 weeks of pills, and then there's just no 4th week, and you just don't take a pill for a week. And that way your body's also not getting hormones. So with a regular period when you're not on hormonal birth control, your body, like builds up your uterine lining and your estrogen increases, and then you ovulate and your estrogen drops and your progesterone increases. And then if the egg is not fertilized, your progesterone drops and your uterine lining sheds. And you get rid of that uterine lining, and then you start again next month. So that's what normally happens with your body when you are just going through a menstrual cycle. But with the hormonal birth control pill, your body has your estrogen and progesterone levels at a steady level, so it's not fluctuating throughout the month, and you don't ovulate. And so because of this, when you stop taking the pill or you take a sugar pill or a placebo pill for a week, your uterine lining hasn't been building up. Okay, so it's not building up to receive an implanted egg or a fertilized egg, because remember, you've tricked your body into thinking like that there is a fertilized egg already there. And so it's not like adding more uterine lining on top of that. So you're not like constantly building that uterine lining and then shredding it. So with the hormonal birth control, your uterine lining is staying about the same all month. And then when you stop taking the pill, or when you take that placebo pill, your uterine lining gets a little bit soft and shreds just enough that like you have bleeding, but it's not a period. Like you're not entirely shedding your uterine lining and starting over. And so that is actually called withdrawal bleeding, because you are just withholding those hormones that your body is used to having. And then you shed a little bit of uterine lining, and then you start taking the pills again, and you stop shedding that uterine lining. So that's why on birth control pills, periods are usually lighter and shorter, because it's not going through the process of shedding the entire uterine lining every month. So the question was, what happens when a person decides to skip that week of placebo pills or just like start into the next pack of birth control pills. So obviously I am not a doctor, right? I am not a healthcare professional. So if you are thinking about doing this, you need to talk to your healthcare professional about like, is this a good option for you? But you can, or some people do they just start the next pack of pills, and that just causes you to not have a withdrawal bleed, and your body just like keeps on trucking, and just your hormone levels stay the same. So you just don't have that withdrawal bleed. When the pill was actually developed in the 50s, the reason why that withdrawal bleed was put in, like, it's not medically necessarily, but they put it in there because they thought women would be freaked out if they didn't have their monthly period. So they put in the placebo pills. Yeah, so many women do skip that month. Like I said, if you are, or skip that week, if you are thinking about that, you should totally check with your doctor first, see what they say. But essentially, it's just like you don't have that withdrawal week. And yeah. Email me if you have questions. I hope this was informative. And I will see you guys later. Bye.